Hey, I wanted to chat today about something familiar to anybody who's lived in Southern California for any of the last 5, 10 years, um, and anybody who's actually visited in that time period as well. We have a serious problem with homelessness, and it just seems to be getting worse. So I want to talk a little bit about it because kind of a friend brought this up. He's a college friend, lives in the UAE, and he has a friend who recently visited LA, and he said, "I'm never coming back to this place." And it was shocking to hear that, and I was like, "Why did he say that? What's going on?" Apparently, he brought his family to Disneyland rather, and he found it very very dirty. The LA area in general, the homelessness problem he saw was out of control. He didn't feel safe, and he swore he'd never come back. And he now he's like going back home and spreading the word. And I'm like, wow, that's really it. It's a problem that's existed here for a while. I remember when my wife and I moved back to Southern California in 2015. We were surprised by like the tent cities that we saw along the riverbeds. Even downtown LA, it was crazy, and like we'd never seen that before. Obviously, something had changed, and there like people talk about it now and then. There are occasional reports, but I haven't really heard of a comprehensive plan to address it. And the root causes. Is it the lack of affordable housing? Is it something else? And how are we going to address this? Unfortunately, the conversations I've heard were the ones we always hear when it comes to homelessness. Like, not in my backyard. We don't want that here. We don't want it to drive down our prices. We don't want to deal with the filth. We don't want to deal with the safety issues that come with it. And it just kept getting kicked down the road to the point where now, internationally, we're developing this reputation for really not taking care of the members of our society, not addressing this serious problem. And there's the ethical issue, which is really a shame. But now it's a financial issue. I was reading that like LA area like pulled in about $38 billion worth of revenue from tourism, and that could be a big hit to our economy, if people stop coming here. So I was actually really surprised to learn that there are areas in this country that are addressing this. I'd heard about Utah starting with a housing first program where they give the homeless a house and stabilize their life in that way. And I've heard there's some success there. There's a place in, I think, Asheville, North Carolina, I believe, that has also developed a similar program. And they've seen people, like 89% of the people who are given a home just retain that home. They stay there. And so this idea that, well, they don't want to be in a home, and they're just gonna lose it somehow, it just doesn't pan out. So I really like that there are areas of the country that are addressing this issue and thinking about it. Here in Southern California, we definitely need to address it. I know the mayor's office is kind of passing a new budget, and they're really trying to put aside the funds for it. I hope they do think about what works best, what has worked in other areas of the country, and try to replicate that here. And I'm just curious what other people are thinking. Is this an issue? I know some people feel really, like they don't feel it's right that somebody should get a free home. There may be other concerns, but for me personally, I just see that, it's the ethical thing to do. People have fallen through the cracks in society. There really isn't that any real amount of affordable housing in the area. What are we supposed to do? But I'm open to other ideas. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah, thanks for listening.